Breaking, the truth just came out about Judge Anton Scalia. 2 years after his death, someone has to pay, by Al Waisman for freedomdaily.com. The late Judge Anton Scalia would have had no issue warming up to President Donald Trump. He probably would have enjoyed watching the election and newfound leadership of our great nation being pulled out of the dark Barack Hussein Obama era. Many people in the mainstream liberal media and the government insist on attacking President Trump on a daily basis, only because he calls it like it is, and some people have a politically correct problem with that. The late Justice close personal friend Brian Garner is publishing a new book and claims Judge Anton Scalia had revealed his personal thoughts on then presidential candidate Donald Trump. It's eye-opening and mesmerizing. Justice Scalia thought it was most refreshing to have a candidate who is pretty much unfiltered, utterly frank, honest, and truthful. These are the same reasons that the Americans fell in love with Trump and elected him as our president in 2016. Hillary was close, but Trump's votes determined the outcome, and here we are a great leader. We have a great leader. Garner is a respected legal dictionary editor who spent 2 weeks in January of 2016 traveling with Justice Scalia through several Asian countries. The two spent some time together. By this new revelation, we can safely guess that Justice Scalia wouldn't be one of those uppity up-hacks in the elite political circles who think we the people care, or even bother to listen to what they think or feel about our president. He wouldn't be adding to the chorus of those attacking our president on a daily basis only because he is stopping the business as usual gravy train and swamp creatures which have ruined our once great nation to the point where people were race-shamed into voting for a charlatan like former President Barack Hussein Obama, a man who never even ran a lemonade stand and who had obvious, heavy anti-American biases. CNN reports, when my husband called and told me the news that Supreme Court Justice Anton Scalia had died, the first question that came out of my mouth was, "Where?" "Texas," he said. "Oh no. Judy Melinek. That reply did not surprise him. Conspiracy theories surround Scalia's death. Conspiracy theories surround Scalia's death. 229, I have been called to testify as a forensic pathology expert in many legal cases in Texas. I know about the laws that govern death investigation in that state." Close dialogue. Receive Fareed Zakaria's global analysis, including insights and must-reads of world news. Email address, activate Fareed's briefing by subscribe. You agree to, okay. It came as no surprise to me that Justice Scalia was found cold and pulseless in bed with a pillow over his head, was declared dead of natural causes without an autopsy being performed. I was not shocked to hear that a county justice of the peace agreed to issue the death certificate without visiting the death scene or seeing the body for herself. When President John F. Kennedy was shot and killed in Dallas on November 22, 1963, the local medical examiner, a trained and experienced forensic pathologist, wanted to perform an autopsy. He was thwarted by the Secret Service, which followed the wishes of the president's widow and flew the body out of the state for an autopsy at a naval facility. Even the Warren Commission report and thoroughgoing congressional hearings never put to rest the speculation that still surrounds John F. Kennedy's death, and that death was indisputably a homicide with an autopsy. Scalia's unexamined death will add to the conspiracy theory industrial complex. It didn't need to be so, especially since Scalia's pre-existing medical conditions make it likely that his death was a natural one. Why is it that in a nation with the best medical technology in the world, we are still allowing a law enforcement official and a judge on the end of a telephone line to declare someone dead and pronounce the manner of death as a natural without an autopsy? Autopsy in Greek, see for yourself. It is the one and only specific method for definitively determining the cause and manner of death, even if this decedent weren't a controversial and powerful national figure. He should have had an autopsy. Why? Because whenever someone is dead in bed at a private residence with a pillow over his head, there is a possibility that the death was not a natural one. Scalia had underlying medical conditions, but he did not have a known terminal illness. He was not expected to die at any moment. His demise was by definition a sudden and unexpected death, and those are the types of deaths that fall under a coroner or medical examiner's jurisdiction. Though John Poindexter, the owner of the ranch and the man who found Scalia's body, later stated that the pillow was against the headboard and not over his face. There still should have been a death scene investigation by trained personnel, and there should have been an autopsy by a board-certified forensic pathologist. Instead, we have a marshal and the property owner calling up a justice of the peace, and everyone agreeing that there must have been no foul play. Even if there was no foul play, the lack of an autopsy still leaves too many open questions. Sudden death while sleeping could result several different ways, and it goes on here. The whole fact of the matter is that I'm not going to go into a whole series of death. The thing was that they just closed it up and then they cremated the body, I heard. So why would they do that, like all of a sudden, like get it out of the way? So now that a murky rush death certification has marred the passing of one of the very highest legal figures in the United States, shouldn't we do something about it? Yeah, but where does it say what they did with the body? I heard that they cremated it automatically, and they're not mentioning that this place over here that he went, I think the lodge, he was friends with Obama, the owner of the lodge, I think. Something to that effect. I don't recall right now. But listen, this was dirty dealings over here, because Obama wanted this guy out, the conservative judge, so he can replace him with a leftist liberal judge. So this way they control all of the decisions being made, and it didn't go their way. And Justice Scalia had to pay the price for Obama's dirty dealings. And I'm sure Hillary had a hand in that somewhere, knowing Hillary, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.